You likely didn't need me to tell you that Trump's Mar-a-Lago home was raided by the FBI the other day, and if I am the first person to tell you this, then fucking wow. I don't know whether to laugh or to ask for spare room at the rock you live under. But anyways, this raid went down apparently over some classified nuclear documents that Trump illegally had in his possession at his home. A lot surrounding this case is still fuzzy, there is still a lot of speculation, and Trump could release the search warrant, but he refuses to. Gee, I wonder why. Since a lot is still up in the air, I don't have a lot to say about the story aside from lock him up. Lock him the fuck up. Probably not going to happen since we so rarely see people in positions of power take accountability for their own actions, but hey, some wishful thinking doesn't hurt, right? What I do want to focus this video on is just the absolutely deranged reaction from Trump's base. I know, these are Trump supporters we're talking about. It goes without saying that these people are fucking deranged, but Jesus fucking Christ, this shit is still disgusting regardless. From Vice News. Far-right extremists are violently threatening the Trump search warrant judge. Let's find out if he has children, where they go to school, where they live, everything, one person wrote on a message board where the judge's address was posted. Far-right extremists on pro-Donald Trump message boards and social networks are making violent, anti-Semitic threats against the judge who reportedly signed the warrant that allowed the FBI to search the former president's Mar-a-Lago property in Florida. Multiple members of these toxic online communities are even posting what appears to be Judge Bruce Reinhardt's home address, phone numbers, and the names of his family members alongside threats of extreme violence. This is the piece of shit who approved the FBI's raid on Mar-a-Lago, a user wrote on the pro-Trump message board, formerly known as the Donald. I see a rope around his neck. Responding, another user wrote, I don't give a fuck anymore. Name, address, put that shit all up on here. Moments later, a different member replied with what appears to be Reinhardt's current address, phone numbers, previous addresses, and names of possible relatives. Another 4chan user wrote in response, that is a caseler, anti-Semitic caseler, I'm sure you know which word I'm referring to, and a pedophile. He should be tried for treason and executed. The reason they're saying that this judge is a pedophile is because he apparently had ties to Epstein in the past, because, you know, Trump didn't totally have ties to Epstein either. But even if these people are correct, and this judge is a predatory piece of shit, what the fuck do his children have to do with it? And what the fuck do family members, who have nothing to do with this guy's actions, have to do with it? You're not dishing out justice by threatening the lives of people who have done nothing wrong. And I guarantee the same people who are desperately trying to find the schools that this guy's kids go to, if he even has kids. The article doesn't say whether or not the judge actually does have children, but assuming this judge does have kids, and these people are trying to find what school they go to, I bet you these are the same people who say trans people are predators. They're a danger to children. And you're doing this all for a guy who would not give a fuck less if you were to keel over and die right in front of him. And I know, you might be saying, well, not all Trump supporters are like this. You're painting with a very broad brush right now. There are plenty of Trump supporters who oppose this FBI raid, but are not doing any of the heinous shit you're talking about in this video. Sure, but you see so many of these large political pundits who are pro-Trump now saying, it's time for war. And a lot of Trump supporters are going along with this shit. They're saying stuff like, yep, it's time to get ready for the next civil war, I'm locked and loaded. And you see like next to no pushback to this shit from the quote-unquote sane Trump supporters. And just the other day at Ohio, we saw some crazy piece of shit show up at an FBI building, armed, in hopes to shoot it up. And what was the response from Trump's base? False flag, Antifa, they're trying to make us look bad, you know, Trump supporters doing what they do best, deny reality. Trump supporters denouncing pieces of shit like this would also be acknowledging that the rhetoric they engage in is harmful. All these Trump supporters can LARP about fighting in a civil war all they fucking want while they sit on their recliners, downing beer and Doritos. But then there are people out there who take in this sort of rhetoric and are crazy enough to go to the extra mile and try to carry this shit out. And every time an act of violence is carried out in the name of right-wing extremism, you see right-wingers try to deflect, say no, this is actually a leftist who did this, and pull any story out of their ass to avoid saying, yes, there are people on our side that do shit like this. Another Vice article compiled a whole bunch of posts of Trump supporters saying shit like this. Civil War 2.0 just kicked off. one step closer to a kinetic civil war. I already bought my ammo. This is how you light the match to a civil war. Civil war is coming to America. There won't be any more elections. A total war on dissidents is about to unfold. Not behind closed doors, but blatantly, in the public. Attacks on Alex Jones, Trump, and Patriot Day defendants are only setting the precedent for the future of us as the only opposition to the deep state. Like, this is your fucking side who is saying shit like this. You really think it's that far-fetched for someone to intake all of this Civil War talk and be crazy enough to take it upon themselves to quote-unquote take out the enemy? It's just so fucking unbelievable how detached from reality these people are. I'm tired of people not calling this shit what it is. These are not normal supporters of a political figure. This is a fucking cult. And all of the normal Trump supporters who don't want to say anything about this shit and deflect every time an act of terrorism is carried out in the name of far-right extremism. Oh no, it's actually a leftist, it's actually a false flag. Those people are just as complicit. Fuck anyone who still supports this guy. That's all I have to say. Bye-bye.